Hey everybody, David here, and I wanted to talk about some breaking news that happened recently this week. It looks like Jason Reitman, the director of Ivan Reitman, who directed the original Ghostbusters, is going to be directing a Ghostbusters sequel. That's right. Not the sequel to the 2016 movie with the all-female cast. This is actually going to be a sequel to the 1984 and 1989 films that starred the original Ghostbusters cast, which include Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and the late Harold Ramis. So this is really interesting news because, nobody knew what was going to happen to the Ghostbusters franchise. That 2016 movie bombed in the theaters, was like destroyed by fans. Critics were kind of mixed on it. I was actually one of the people that was on the positive side. I actually thought that movie was okay. I thought it was pretty funny. It wasn't perfect, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. And but you know what? The customer is always right. If the customer says it was a bad drink, you gotta go make a new one. So that's what they're doing, and they're starting from scratch. But instead of ignoring the previous two movies like they did last time, now they're saying, you know what? Let's give the fans what they want. Let's do a direct sequel. Obviously, the sequel will take place years after the first two films, which is funny because the second movie did take place after a long period of time where the Ghostbusters were forgotten. Are they going to do that again? I kind of hope not. Maybe the Ghostbusters franchise has gone worldwide or something, and, a couple of young people want to now be Ghostbusters and carry on the torch. We'll have to see. Or maybe that's what the problem was. Maybe they couldn't get more people. More people didn't want to fight ghosts. Maybe they were scared or something, and maybe now a newer generation is like, you know what, we got to get rid of this ghost problem. What happened to the original Ghostbusters? And it's about them trying to find out. Who knows what the story is going to be? There's many different ways. We do know that they are looking for a teenage cast, which is why I'm talking about a younger group of Ghostbusters being trained by the original Ghostbusters. If they were to get a few, who would it be? I don't know if Bill Murray would do it. He has been hesitant in the past, but then again, he did do that cameo in the 2016 film. Maybe if they had found a way, or have found a way to do it properly now, maybe Bill Murray would be like, okay, let's do this one last time. I can easily see Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd joining in on this and training the new kids. But even as a character perspective, would Peter Venkman train a couple of new kids to take over the Ghostbusters? I don't know. I don't know if that's that character's style. That's why, would it be necessary if Bill Murray came back or not? Because it's not like Peter Venkman would have would care if kids took over. I mean, he'd be like, good job after they did it. But I don't know. I don't know the character as well as, I guess, the writers or the actors themselves would know. Look, I think this is great news that Jason Reitman is going to be directing it or Jason Reitman, because, look, if you're the son of the director of the original film, this is a no-brainer choice. You can always go back and ask the original director, his father, look, you have any advice, Dad, on what I can do? But maybe he really pitched a really cool idea, because Ivan Reitman has been trying to get this movie off the ground for a long time. I remember Ghostbusters 3 was rumored back during the 90s. I have cousins right now that were born in the 90s or after. Or my cousins, I should say. My cousins' kids. Yeah. So the fact that this movie is actually finally happening in 2019, it's like 30 years since Ghostbusters 2 literally came out. That means Ghostbusters 1 is almost 40 years old soon, in a couple more years. That's just mind-blowing. So I hope they really knock it out of the park. I want the fan base to be proud of this. I've seen a lot of comments from people on Twitter saying that they're not excited about this, that they should just let it die. But that's because they felt burned from the previous film. I think if you come up with a really good trailer, a really good story, bring back the original cast like what they're planning on doing, I think this is the movie that's going to get people excited about the Ghostbusters again. Because this is what people really wanted from the previous one. The previous one just didn't give us that. Because why did you reboot it when the original is still a beloved classic? I hope that teaches people not to reboot Back to the Future one day, because that would be crazy. Although I would probably reboot Back to the Future. I have plans. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please comment below and tell me your thoughts on the Ghostbusters sequel. Are you happy that it's a sequel to the original? Or do you think, just like others, that they should just leave it alone? I hope you guys agree with me that it's a good idea to redeem the franchise. Nothing is ever dead. You just have to find the right creative talent to bring that back to life. So, after all, can you imagine if we all wanted Batman to end after Batman and Robin? We wouldn't have never gotten the Dark Knight trilogy, one of the greatest trilogies of all time. So, with that being said, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.